So as of Wednesday afternoon, we're still kind of waiting for the storms. Storms are really going to start in the hill country tonight, and that's where the highest risk for flooding is. The latest forecast suggests some rain Thursday in San Antonio, but with plenty of breaks. And what that means is less rain in San Antonio than in the hill country. But you should still plan to stay aware tonight and Thursday. So when we look at the flood watch, I really think it's these counties that have the highest flood risk.
From KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Arrested and accused of strangling a kitten. Records show this was not his first alleged act of violence. What KSAT has uncovered about the suspect's past.
And an outbreak affecting horses, putting the brakes on at least one major rodeo event. What's keeping everyone pinned up at the Uvalde Rodeo Qualifier?
A viral video on TikTok has a lot of people talking after a woman is seen pepper spraying a group of people on a riverboat. Hear what local businesses say has to get done.
Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Myra Arthur.
And I'm Ernie Zuniga. Let's get to the big focus tonight, which is the weather. And I guess, Adam, it's going to be all about the location tonight.
Location, location, location tonight and all the way through the day tomorrow. And most of the rain during that time period is going to be west of San Antonio, mainly in the hill country. That's where we have the flood watch. And of course, it does include San Antonio. We could have some street flooding around here, but we think the primary area to watch for the highest risk of flooding are the highlighted counties here, from Del Rio to Uvalde, Bandera, Kerrville Junction, Rock Springs, everywhere in between, and their corresponding counties, of course. That's where we're likely to see a bullseye of rainfall, possibly 6 inches or more, set up somewhere within this area. It's impossible to tell exactly where until the rain starts to develop. And of course, the primary threat is street flooding, and then low water crossings, but also there could be a little rise in some of the area streams and rivers. Even if it's just, I think, an increased stream flow or river flow, there is the potential for that. So that's something that we're watching with, of course, the chance of some water overflowing the banks in some of the rivers. It's a possibility, depends on where that bullseye sets up. But I want to differentiate between the hill country and San Antonio. Hill country tonight through tomorrow. Notice tonight, 80% chance of rain. During the day tomorrow, the hill country at a 60% chance, okay, through the morning commute. San Antonio, meanwhile, just a 20 to 30% chance tonight through the morning commute tomorrow. So don't think this is going to get in the way of your entire Thursday around San Antonio. In the hill country, it's a different story. But here in town and in surrounding counties of Bexar County, it's really not going to be an all-day impact. Here's our futurecast. The newest information just came in, and it shows what we've been explaining for a few days. Basically, batches of heavy rain moving south to north periodically throughout the night. It's not the kind of situation where a storm moves in and sits and rains. This is where these storms follow each other. 1 break, 2 break, 3, like train cars on railroad. They called training. And there will be a bullseye of rain somewhere there. We'll talk more about rainfall accumulations and when it comes to an end in just a bit.
All right, Adam, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. Happening right now, people gathered at San Fernando Cathedral downtown, where the San Antonio Archdiocese is expected to make a statement on a federal raid that happened here this week.
More than 140 immigrants were taken into custody. So far, 2 people have been formally charged with illegal re-entry to the United States.
So our Zaria Oates is in front of the cathedral now. Zaria, what is it like out there tonight?
Hey guys, a lot of people have already started to gather up here. They were here about 15 minutes before this was set to start, right at 6 o'clock. They just started playing some music just behind me. But you can see there are dozens of people already here getting in line to watch the Archbishop speak and then to also hear where that line stands as to what side of history they're going to be on. Of course, we had those FBI, those federal raids earlier this week over the weekend on Sunday, and we saw more than 140 people were arrested. Now the Archbishop and other interfaith leaders will take a stance and make sure that the community knows that they stand with the immigrants here in San Antonio. I want you to take a look at a little bit more of what's going on just behind me. We reached out to U.S. Representative Chip Roy's office earlier earlier this week on Monday, his office just now responding and saying, quote, "This is yet another example of Trinidad infiltrating our communities with illicit drugs, crime, and violence." He went on to say the Trump administration is on the right side of history with their enforcement operations and should continue. He went on later than that, but right now we're starting to see that they're getting started here, starting to speak on this event happening right now, this prayer, and they'll continue to speak throughout the night. We'll have a few details of what happens here and what their goal is here later tonight on the night feed. But for right now, we'll just continue to watch a little bit of this. Back to you.
Most importantly,
All right, Zaria, thank you. Meanwhile, in a video clip that has gone viral, a woman is seen pepper spraying a group of 8 people on a river barge on the Riverwalk, including a toddler. In that TikTok video that has been seen more than 6 million times, people are seen wiping their eyes, including that toddler crying, after police say a woman pepper sprayed a group of 8 people back on Saturday on that barge after the riders and the boat operator told her to turn her phone down. Police say the suspected sprayer has still not been arrested. The general manager of Lone Star Cafe says that they are starting to close earlier in the night because of fights breaking out.
What's the solution to this? Do you think if there was more security patrolling?
Maybe more security, it would, help us out with especially some of the homeless and the people that do act up.
The police say the woman, again, still has not been arrested. We did reach out to Go Rio San Antonio River Cruises for a comment, and so far we have not received a response. Somerset ISD is making sure that every family in their district will have a good Thanksgiving. Along with the San Antonio Food Bank, the district gave out tons of food this morning just in time for the holidays. Each family received about 20 pounds of food while being greeted and served by student volunteers.
We know as a district that we are basically here to support not only our students but our community, and it's reflected in everybody who participates, everybody who's coming out to champion this event, and we're all here just to give each other the support.
250 families received their Thanksgiving fixins this year, nearly double the amount of families that were helped last year.
Neighbors waiting to see what happens next in a case involving a man arrested for killing a kitten.
San Antonio police arrested a suspect more than a week after the stray kitten was found strangled at a Southwest Side apartment complex. As Katrina Weber shows us, the suspect was also accused of harming another person in the past.
Ryan, San Antonio police say that you strangled the kitten. What happened?
What happened with the cat? No comment.
He offered no words, but what 31-year-old Ryan Berlanga is accused of doing has people everywhere talking. San Antonio police say the man who they arrested Tuesday was caught on camera more than a week ago, strangling a kitten at a Southwest Side apartment complex.
I got so upset. I'm an animal lover.
Janie Bender read about the kitten killing in signs posted all over the complex, a place where neighbors regularly feed and care for strays.
And when I found out what he did, and I said, oh my God, I said, oh, I have kittens myself.
The news upset more than just this pet owner. Hundreds of people posted messages on the story on my Instagram page alone. Another neighbor left me a voicemail in reaction to the arrest.
I'm for sure relieved that this man was caught. He didn't deserve to be in the streets like that.
I'm so glad. They need to do the same thing to him.
While some people have their own ideas about what should happen next in this case, Berlanga for now is being held here at the Bexar County Jail with bond set at $60,000. And it turns out this is not his first visit here. Here's a mugshot from a June 2024 arrest when Berlanga was accused of hurting not an animal, but a person. A police report says he repeatedly punched a 72-year-old family member in his face. Court records show he spent less than 2 months in jail. This time, he faces up to 10 years in prison, plus a $10,000 fine if convicted. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look at traffic right now during the 6 o'clock commute. It is slow going here. 281 Loop 410. This is the access road, the flyover there from 410 on to 281 North, right by the airport. A whole lot of brake lights, so something to be aware of as traffic is backed up 281 and 410. Horses apparently are dying because of a virus outbreak. A local veterinarian is raising concerns about that in our area.
Yeah, so how many horses have been affected, and could that number grow? As our John Paul Barajas explains, the contagious nature of the equine herpes virus has led to the cancellation of a professional rodeo event in Uvalde.
Cowboys and cowgirls should be competing in Uvalde for a chance to get a spot in a major rodeo competition, the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. Instead, the Uvalde qualifier has been canceled due to an equine herpes virus outbreak.
None of the horses that have been infected with this with the disease ever made it to Uvalde, right? We did this as a precautionary, and so none of the horses were ever there. We didn't have any issues at our event.
The current outbreak may be linked to a recent event in Waco from earlier this month. Looking closer to home, Chris Derby with the San Antonio Rodeo explains the Uvalde qualifier is aimed to give more riders an opportunity.
Really giving somebody a chance to break out onto the scene or make a name for themselves.
Correct. Yeah, that's what it's all about. It's all about competition, and it's fun. It's kind of like, that's why we love the Final Four, right? When it comes down to March Madness, you never know who's going to win. Is number 16 going to beat number 1? With this cancellation, it was all for the safety of our animal athletes.
Local veterinarian Michael Martin tells us they're already taking added precautions at his facility.
How deadly is it? There's already been several horses that have died, so it can be quite deadly.
Dr. Martin didn't have exact numbers, but explains the equine herpes virus is linked to a serious neurological disease in horses.
Humans are not at risk, but humans can, I guess, pass it on to other horses.
Correct.
As for how widespread it is,
it's easily transmitted, which is part of the problem. At this particular event, as the way I understand it, there was 1,000 horses there. And of course, 1,000 horses have gone 1,000 different directions after the event.
Although this week's event was canceled, Derby with the San Antonio Rodeo says they'll be back in Uvalde next year and are currently working on a way to fill this year's field of contestants.
We see no issues in February coming in, but we will definitely keep track of it.
John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
All right, well, what comes, let's see, right after the rodeo, it's Fiesta. Never too early to start planning, and we now know who will lead next year's Fiesta Flambeau Parade.
And I bet people are not expecting this.
No.
Shamu and crew got their Grand Marshal sashes this morning at SeaWorld. The parade theme this year is Adventures in Toyland. Officials for both SeaWorld and the Flambeau Parade say that having Shamu and crew lead the festival makes sense for San Antonio.
Toys are a big thing for children, and we receive a lot of children at our parades, and so it was just very, very easy to invite SeaWorld to participate.
The Flambeau Parade is already on our calendars. It is scheduled to light up downtown Saturday, April 26th. Still ahead, if you're looking forward to Black Friday deals, there were a few sneaky surprises you should be aware of before hitting stores. What you need to know before stocking up for Christmas.
And walking in the Alamo City, especially crossing the street, can be a dangerous exercise. We're going to break down how the city is planning to keep pedestrians and drivers more safe.
Plus, good news for women looking for help dealing with menopause symptoms. What some new guidance from the FDA says about hormone replacement therapy now. Next.
A San Antonio mom died after a rollover crash off the highway. She rolled over into a ditch just behind me. Her family tells me they want to know why authorities didn't find her until more than 24 hours later. This story coming up.
Well, it's an FDA announcement that will change the lives of millions of American women. After decades, the so-called black box warning will be removed from all hormone replacement medicine containing estrogen.
So hormone replacement therapy helps clear menopause symptoms, but an old, now irrelevant study linked it to cancer, which caused a lot of fear. Courtney Friedman spoke to women who are now celebrating the removal of that warning.
Bonnie Tomset became a musician later in life. For her energy and capability, she credits hormone replacement therapy, which cleared scary menopause symptoms derailing her life.
Like the hot flashes, the irregular sleep patterns, some other kind of weird things, just not thinking clearly.
Her doctor prescribed her this.
This is progesterone, and it's taken orally, and this is the estradiol gel.
She felt better almost immediately. This was almost 2 years ago. At the time, there was a long-standing warning on the estrogen therapy, mentioning risks for breast cancer, heart disease, and dementia. The FDA now saying the warning was based on a flawed study.
So in newer, more accurate studies involving over 27,000 women, it actually found that hormone replacement therapy does not increase the risk of cancer. In fact, if women take it before the age of 60, it decreases the risk.
So it can also decrease the risk for osteoporosis. It can lower the risk for heart disease. There's some studies showing that it improves cognitive function that could be related to Alzheimer's and dementia.
Jamie Cano Gomez is a University Health family nurse practitioner who was thrilled about the FDA announcement.
I was so excited when I saw that. The black box has been lifted, but it's just a huge stepping stone for women's health.
But both she and Bonnie know damage control is still necessary. For decades, doctors have been scared to prescribe it and women scared to take it, even though it works.
Do you still feel that there's fear?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely can sense that in people I talk to. I hope it just reassures more women going through it that it's okay to try it and see if it makes a difference and not to be so fearful.
Their lives could change just like hers did.
I gotta know if you're sweet love.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Cano Gomez says that women interested in hormone replacement therapy should talk with their doctors. She says even though it is proven to work for many women, there are still some women who should not use it. That includes some women with hormone-sensitive cancers or blood clots, among some other conditions.
All right, let's get you outside on this Wednesday. And the long wait for rain may soon be coming to an end. Not for everybody, though.
Yeah, it's the typical rain situation around here where it's a bit of the rain lottery. And the real winners will be west of I-35. When I say winners, I put it in quotes because for a period of time, it could be too much of a good thing, which we're also used to around here, living in Flash Flood Alley, where we are built on top of solid limestone and we have a bunch of hills and consequent valleys, quick runoff, and we get heavy rain like events that we're expecting tonight and tomorrow. But not for everybody at the same time. So let's get right into it. First of all, tonight, storms near Del Rio and in the Hill Country. San Antonio, we're not expecting storms tonight, not even in the morning tomorrow. Thursday, some rain for San Antonio, favored in the afternoon and evening, and a few sprinkles out ahead of it, sure. But most of the real rain that could really accumulate would probably be later in the day. Flood risk is still the highest in the Hill Country because that's where we should have most of the rain and the showers that follow each other, the training showers and storms. And of course, pockets of heavy rain. So here's a look at the futurecast. It's not perfect. These never are. Actually, I'd love to see one perfect, but they're far from that. But I think this is a good representation and still in line with what we've been saying and thinking, where most of the rain-making energy and the moisture tonight through the morning commute tomorrow, that's all west of I-35 between the Rio Grande and I-35 in San Antonio, basically. Tomorrow midday, yeah, a few little pop-up showers, but the bulk of it is going to be in the Hill Country and west of town. Exactly where in the Hill Country is yet to be determined. The bullseye could end anywhere between I-35 and the Rio Grande. And then we get into tomorrow evening, afternoon and evening, and odds are more favored around San Antonio and surrounding counties. And then even a stray shower possible early on Friday morning on the backside of this system. Otherwise, we start to clear out on Friday. Overall rainfall potential, it's not going to be equal across the state nor our area. We could have some bullseyes of 6 to 9 inches in parts of the hill, such as this purple area. Right now it says near Rock Springs. This could be anywhere in the Hill Country. It's not necessarily going to set up in Rock Springs. So of course we're watching the Hill Country closely. San Antonio, we'll have some breaks in the rain, then the heaviest tomorrow afternoon and evening. It's not going to impact your entire day in town, and far less rain in San Antonio than in the Hill Country. Upper level system number 1 causing this, upper level system number 2 this weekend on into Monday, giving us some isolated to scattered showers, and not quite as warm going forward as well.
All right, Adam, thank you. Still to come, San Antonio's got a problem with pedestrians and cars, but we'll tell you how the city is planning to keep our crossings safe. Well, San Antonio may be great for a lot of things, but being a pedestrian in this city is not one of them.
Unfortunately, we've talked a lot about this on this show before. Devin Karp shows us why San Antonio is the 7th deadliest city in the nation for pedestrians and how that problem is being fixed.
Staying safe in San Antonio is not easy on the roads, whether you're crossing them or driving them.
I think in our everyday lives, we get so busy and we're just rushing from one place to another that we forget to really just slow down, pay attention.
Last year, TxDOT says there were more than 700 pedestrian-involved accidents. Of those, 168 people were seriously hurt, 89 died.
So what we have found is that pedestrians don't cross at crossings, people driving don't pay attention, and so for that reason we're launching this campaign.
The city of San Antonio has $1.25 million in grant money to run Keep Crossings Safe, educating the public on safety measures, and is also spending more than $4 million to install median crosswalks on Zarzamora, but is looking at other trouble spots in town too.
We're focusing on 3 corridors. Those 3 corridors are going to be W.W. White, South Zamora, and also Fredericksburg Road.
If you want to do something about the problem from the comfort of your own home, you just need to go to this website, scroll down to the map section. There you can add a pin at the exact intersection where you think something needs to happen. Just like Connie Swan did, who said she noticed a lot of kids crossing at this intersection and wants to see better striping and flashing crosswalk lights.
We take that information very seriously because it's going to help us also track our success with the program. So if somebody's telling us, hey, this is a pretty scary intersection, we definitely want to keep tabs on it so that we know how we're progressing with the campaign.
So when it comes to safety on the roads, whether you're walking next to them or behind the wheel, act safe now. Don't wait. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
All right, still ahead. If you are planning on taking advantage of those Black Friday deals next week, they are coming at a different kind of cost. We're going to help you prepare for these store lines. Up next. "36 years of marriage, 6 adoptions, and a calling they say has shaped their lives."
It is National Adoption Awareness Month, and we're giving you a look inside one San Antonio family's journey through foster care, adoption, and the realities that come with both.
Erica Hernandez shows us why this family says the journey, despite its challenges, has been worth every step.
I think to be fair to the kids.
They've been married more than 3 decades, and today they have a family that spans from age 33 all the way down to 13. For Michael and Connie Hinden, they say the idea of fostering then adopting wasn't just something they stumbled into, it was a calling.
In the Bible, James says that the truest form of religion is to care for the widows and the orphans. And we have really been called to do that.
After adopting 4 kids who are now adults, they thought their journey was over. But then 2 sisters came into their lives 6 years ago.
It was hard, it was really hard to keep up with having no family with us. And moving from house to house.
Ariana and Amberly had bounced around foster care into multiple homes before landing with Michael and Connie. There was a lot of uncertainty for them, but that all changed one Christmas 3 years ago.
They gave us a present in the car, our last present, and whenever me and Aaron opened it, it had a note inside and said, "Do you want to be our forever daughters?" That was the best present ever.
The family thought the adoption process would be quick, but it took 3 years due to staff turnover with caseworkers and the legal process. But this October, it was finally official. Even with the tough days, they say it's all been worth it.
We need to really invest in these kids, and sometimes it's really hard. It's making a family. We didn't think we'd be doing it again at this age, but here we are.
Today, their message is simple. Foster care matters, but it takes commitment.
I would say the need is real, but if you jump in, make sure that you jump in understanding that need. The last thing a child needs is another transition and a placement that fails, because that is a broken part that they carry on to the next home.
For this family, the journey wasn't easy, but it gave 2 girls a home forever. and to give everyone in the family something even bigger.
We wanted them to feel like this is home. And now that there are kids, they are kids and they have a home forever.
Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Well, meanwhile, Black Friday is a little more than 1 week away, and the National Retail Federation forecasts the first $1 trillion holiday season ahead.
But shoppers may not get a bang for all those bucks. CNN's Karen Kafa joining us live from Washington this evening with what you need to know about this year's deals and some sneaky surprises. Karen.
Hi there, Myra and Ernie. You know, retailers have been anticipating this collision of cautious consumers, tariffs, and holiday shopping for months now. And cost-conscious consumers can still stretch their dollars a little bit this holiday season, but something that seems like a shortcut may actually end up costing you. Popular holiday gifts like toys, apparel, and electronics are among the most imported and most impacted by the Trump administration's tariffs.
The uncomfortable reality of it all is that the sort of things that we want this Christmas or in past Christmases is stuff that is no longer produced in the United States.
Russell Hawley, director of shopping content for CNET, says some tech and toy manufacturers have made changes to trim their costs.
There have been a number of manufacturers that have made it clear that they're going to, in order to adjust to tariffs, do things like remove batteries. So the batteries would need to be a separate purchase. The packaging may be different.
Purchasing items brought in before tariffs took effect may help consumers save, but Hawley says do some research, especially with tech, to make sure it's worth it.
We've seen quite an increase in people shopping, refurbished versions of models of things that they are interested in order to get that, kind of extra savings. My biggest recommendation to anybody going that route is to just read the fine details.
David Bieri, associate professor of economics at Virginia Tech, says online shoppers who find big deals need to note where the item ships from.
If you're doing direct imports or have FedEx or DHL or UPS or even the US Postal Service act as your importer, you will have to carry the cost.
The de minimis rule had long kept low-value packages entering the U.S. tariff-free. That exemption ended in August. And for those hoping that the Supreme Court may play the role of Santa this holiday season, their ruling on the tariffs is not expected until next year. And even if the justices did render a quick decision, retailers have already paid the tariffs on the items they brought in for the holiday rush. Myra and Ernie?
All right, so Karen, tomorrow brings a very important piece of economic data as we head into the heart of the holiday shopping season. What do you think we can expect from the job report tomorrow?
Yeah, this is the first major piece of government economic data we've really received since the shutdown ended. This will be the September jobs report, so we're looking back quite a bit here. And economists are going to be looking, hopefully, for no surprises, right? They know it's a low hire, low fire job market right now, and they're hoping that that's the way it continues to track. We actually won't get an October jobs report. We heard that from the Bureau of Labor Statistics today. They did not have the ability to compile data during the shutdown, which means the next glimpse after this backward-looking report will come in the middle of December. It'll be a combo of some data from October and November. That's when we should get a more realistic picture of the job market that aligns with some of the anecdotes that job seekers have been telling us about, that getting a job right now is still really tough.
All right, Karen Kafer reporting live from Washington this evening. Karen, thank you. We have some late breaking news into the KSAT newsroom just a few moments ago, learning that 3 days after a federal raid, the Department of Homeland Security has finally given us some more information about that operation. They're now saying that more than 150 people suspected to be in the country illegally were arrested. This happened at an after-hours club that they say was known to be frequented by members of Tren de Aragua, that is a gang from Venezuela.
The 27 gang members were a part of those arrests. We have asked repeatedly for an exact number of people arrested, but have only been given general numbers. Some of the gang members arrested include 2 who are currently under investigation for human smuggling and money laundering, and 1 person under investigation for cocaine trafficking. Beside the more than 150 arrests, law enforcement also seized cocaine, 3 firearms, and approximately $35,000 in cash. In other headlines today, the Epstein files are closer to being released.
So Congress passed a bill to make the Justice Department release those files on Epstein.
The bill is now on the president's desk waiting for his signature. So once he signs it, the Justice Department will have 30 days to make those records public. But it is unclear if any of the documents will be kept secret.
Questions now about the indictment of former FBI Director James Comey. A U.S. attorney is saying that a full grand jury never saw the full indictment. Attorney Lindsay Halligan said that today during a hearing to throw out the indictment. The grand jury declined to pursue one of the counts against Comey, so the prosecution says that instead of presenting a new indictment, Halligan brought an altered version for the foreperson to sign with one other person present. Meanwhile, back here at home, police are trying to figure out what happened after one person died in a car crash. That crash happened this morning near Culebra Road and Les Harrison Drive. San Antonio police say that they're not sure what caused the crash, but they believe the driver may have been thrown from the car. The driver's name and exactly how they died unknown right now, but we are checking with the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office. Still ahead, Hemisphere Park turned to ice for the holidays. At least a part of it will be anyway. What you can expect up next. Downtown San Antonio will turn into a winter wonderland this year. Civic Park at Hemisphere will be decked out for the holidays from November 28th through January 3rd.
And that's not all. The Hemisphere, area will get an ice skating rink this holiday season. Starting at the end of the month, you can visit the park for food, gift markets, and music.
Everyone wants a winter wonderland, even if you live in Texas or South Florida, right? So bringing an ice skating rink with synthetic ice here to San Antonio brings that nostalgia into the park and gives people...
The tickets for the ice skating rink at Hemisphere run about $15. Other events like movies at the park and a New Year's Eve countdown will also be held in the park this holiday season. For more information on events and scheduling, just go to KSAT.com and you can search for this story.
I just hope for anyone who goes ice skating, it's not 85 degrees.
Oh, my goodness.
But first, before we get to that, we got this rain tonight to talk about, Adam.
Yeah, and tonight it's going to be west of San Antonio, Del Rio, parts of the hill country, seeing intermittent showers and storms tonight. You look at authority radar at the moment, and you'll see these little areas of green. That's just mid-level cloud cover that's being detected by the radar. I'll put this into motion, and we have the Bracketville, so basically Del Rio radar active right now. You don't see any action out there quite yet. It's not expected till later on tonight. We go to San Antonio, and this is not actual showers, that's clouds. We'll talk about where the heaviest rain will be in a bit.
All right, tonight on ABC Primetime, it is the 59th annual CMA Awards. It's country music's biggest night. That is from 7 until 10 o'clock. Actually, yeah, I'll take you right up to the night beat at 10. All right, driverless cars will soon go fully autonomous in San Antonio. Waymo brought these vehicles to the city back in late May, and they've been mapping out the area and testing it all out. Well, now the next step is to have the self-driving cars go fully autonomous. The company started rolling out the service in Miami this week and says it's fine-tuning the tech to fit each city's unique streets. They'll also have a local facility here in San Antonio to keep the fleet running smooth.
I've seen several of those cars out and about. All right, parents and kids, you can start getting those letters to Santa in the mail already. Monday marked the start of the U.S. Postal Service's annual tradition, letter adoption. Operation Santa gives children and families the opportunity to write letters to Santa, and then people can help Santa out by adopting a letter from a child to make sure their holiday wishes are fulfilled. And new this year, you can choose to adopt a family as a team so that you ensure requests all from the same household are met.
Okay, well, let's face it. We talk about a lot of serious stuff here on the news. So here's a story hopefully to make you laugh. Some farmers in Illinois have been working on a sexy farmer calendar.
This is all about the video. Let's go ahead and see it.
I haven't seen it.
Let's take a look at the calendar. So this started off as something funny, but it's actually part of a project to raise money for a pretty good cause. The money raised from the calendar sales will go toward an Illinois farmers' mental health program.
All right, so the initiative operates a 24/7 confidential helpline for farmers and their families. And so there you have it.
Actually,
Mr. Caskey?
Well, no, on a serious note, suicide is a big issue amongst farmers.
Amongst farmers?
Yes, it is, especially with how tight the money is nowadays in farming and small family farming in particular. So, no, that is a serious issue, so I'm glad they're raising money for that.
Yeah, doing it in a way that gets a lot of attention, you know.
Yeah, and I do like the way they do it, of course, too, right?
For sure.
I can imagine a few outfits I have that would fit in.
Wait a minute, hold on. This is a
Let's just imagine them. Let's not.
sexy meteorologist camera.
It's not sexy,
Okay.
that's for sure. But you know, my cutoff jean shorts with my big belt
Well,
buckle.
I've seen some like sleeveless Christmas sweaters that you have.
that
Christmas
too.
sweaters.
Yeah, sweaters, where it's the one where it says birthday boy on
People
it.
are trying to eat dinner right now.
We're moving on.
Thank you, please. Thank you.
All right, let's get back to Authority Radar. I want to pick up where I left off here. You see, you look off to the west, you say, oh, it's raining out there. No, it's actually not. It's because the radar near San Antonio, it's actually in New Braunfels. You know, it looks higher into the sky as that radar beam gets sent westward. Due to the curvature of the Earth, the radar beam goes straight out, but the Earth curves, so the farther you go away from the radar site, the higher in the sky the radar's looking. So that's actually just seeing the clouds high in the sky. So here's another way to look at it. We can switch radar sites and move over to the other one, and it wouldn't show all the same information. Here's a quick look at our flood watch, and notice it's for San Antonio, up I-35, and then westward along Highway 90, even down into Eagle Pass. But it doesn't include all of our areas. Eastern counties not seeing as much rain as western counties. Basically between San Antonio to Del Rio, Rock Springs Junction, Kerrville, Bandera, Uvalde, this is our highest flood risk area, because this is where we're most likely to see the heaviest downpours following each other. Now, number one, of course, some street flooding, low water crossings, the off chance that some of the area waterways and streams could actually see a rise in water level. There is that potential because of the nature of what we have, but this is not the same kind of setup that we had on 4th of July. That was where a storm sat in place under different atmospheric conditions and just kept raining. And this is a different type of situation where there will be movement. It's just the storms will be following each other, so it's going to add up a bit in spots. So here's a good way to differentiate between the Hill Country and San Antonio. Hill Country tonight through the morning commute, 60 to 80% chance of rain. Same time frame, San Antonio, just 20 to 30% chance. We get into tomorrow afternoon and evening, San Antonio's rain chances jump up to 60%. I think for the first half of the day, or at least around town, we'll just have a few quick passing showers, and that's about it. But the heavier stuff holding off until closer to sunset. And remember, sunset's 5:30 nowadays and thereafter. Here's the futurecast. I want to show this to you again. We'll kind of speed through it, but it does show the showers and storms passing over the same locations, generally speaking, in the Hill Country through the night and the first half of the day tomorrow. Then that action progresses eastward into San Antonio tomorrow afternoon and evening. Rainfall potential, it's not going to be equal opportunity. That's for sure. What we're really watching is for a bullseye west of San Antonio. But even in and around Bexar County, we'll probably see big discrepancies from just a little bit, a few hundredths of an inch, to a couple of inches just across Bexar County. We know how that goes when it comes to the rain lottery around here. What we're really watching is for this bullseye that could set up and is likely to set up somewhere in the Hill Country of anywhere of 6 to 8 inches of rain that would then lead to the flood potential. That's the highest risk, of course, in the Hill Country. Not as much rain in San Antonio. It's not going to be an all-day thing tomorrow. We will have some breaks, and then we get another shot at some isolated to scattered showers Saturday and especially Sunday into Monday.